Play a clip. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting a call from Minnesota. Let's see what's going on. Hello.
Spy report. Spy report.
Oh boy, breaking news.
Have you gotten the info yet?
No, let's go.
The toe has to spend 15 days in jail.
Oh no!
I guess there's a year. Was it that a year suspended sentence? If he fucks up, I'll have to do a year. All that kind of shit. Where are my notes? I gotta find my notes, dude. It was insane.
Oh no!
Aaron's love for Jesus during his impact he made a statement. Kayla made an impact statement. Hold on, I'm getting my notes. But he also has supervised probation, whatever the hell that means. Hold on, are you still there?
Yeah, we're all listening on pins and needles. Hit the like button.
All right. We sent the worst person. I am the worst person to have gone to this.
Of course.
Because I don't know shit about law. So he does have to pay that $50 surcharge.
Yes. Ticky-tacky.
Supervised probation for 2 years. Victim servicement assessment fee, which is $1,000. He has to complete a diagnostic assessment.
Oh no!
Complete cognitive skills program. They're going to take DNA samples.
What for what?
The big thing was like contributing alcohol to his behavior.
Yes, he doesn't drink though. Did he say that? I don't drink, Your Honor.
Well, he made a statement. Kayla made her impact statement first. She called Aaron a friend, she thought she had a friend, but he turned out to be a monster manipulator who uses her private life for his show. Aaron knows what he is doing. Aaron tries to make himself a victim. This was interesting. Kayla said that she has panic attacks now thinking about going to St. Cloud, and there are 2 specific places that her children like to go in St. Cloud, and she literally gets panic attacks and all these things, which Aaron addressed in his statement, saying he will never, ever go to those 2 places
Did he get a felony?
So does not.
Did he get a felony?
What's
That's
that?
a good question.
He did not. No.
Okay.
No, it's gross misdemeanor. He never got a felony.
Got it. Yeah, tell us more about Aaron's impact statement.
Okay, so Aaron's impact statement. Sean, fill in any blanks that I might have missed. But Aaron started. People have harassed him at every turn. Okay, Aaron's statement. Aaron left the polycule in the lowest headspace of his life, but now through therapy, he's become a better partner, father, and Christian. He has been redeemed by his Savior, Jesus Christ.
So there was a lot of this. There was a lot of leaning on the religious stuff.
Totally leaning on the religion. The brother toe was in full effect, dude. Brother fucking toe. He loves his kids and wants to put them on a righteous path, especially his son, who he wants to, not turn out to be a piece of shit like him. We loved each other once. Aaron said that in his statement to Kayla. Last time, Aaron will never be at the 2 places in St. Cloud. People have harassed Aaron at every turn, sending people to take pictures and video of him. Gino, he totally wrote off. He said, if the court will take mercy on me, I will never work with Gino Bisconte again. That is a quote. I will never work with Gino Bisconte again. It's just crazy, man. He said Schizo Sean is an agent of someone. Yeah, he met Melton, but what did he say? He said
someone I have an HRO.
of someone I have an HRO against. Which again, I mean,
so Schizo Sean is there.
An HRO. What's that?
Schizo Sean is there.
Yeah, Schizo Sean is here.
Oh boy. So
yeah,
this was his big epiphany letter, I imagine, that he wrote last June. Just dusted it off.
I guess, man. But there was a lot of Jesus. He started bringing up the fact that he has an HRO against it, but I don't know what we
now
can,
for
we
a
can
guy
talk
who's
about.
so heavy into Jesus, we know he doesn't go to church. Like Sundays are about members, shows, and football.
Dude, he was trying to cry, but like when he was talking about his kids, but like it was like karmic crying the other day.
Sounded like he talked about Kayla.
Sean is saying it almost sounded like he was crying when he was talking about Kayla, but dude, you know when someone's crying and when like, because like once everything was done, he stood up, he smiled, he shook his, like there were crocodile tears to say the least. It was all about how he's a victim, so he had to bring up the fact that he took an HRO against Nick because Nick shared intimate photos of him at a live event, so he knows how Kayla feels. I'm a changed man. You'll never see me here again, he told the judge. And at the end, he closed it off by saying, all praise be to Jesus Christ, and may God have mercy on my soul.
Oh, it's like the letter he wrote to April, where he's like, I did this. I'm a monster.
Right. I mean, Kayla's impact speech was, very good. There, again, I mean, did you know that this picture was of a partially revealed left nipple?
No, I didn't. Nobody's ever seen the photo except Gino.
Right.
I mean,
well, that's what Aaron's lawyer was saying. He's like, no one's ever even seen this picture, and he described it as all it is a partially exposed left nipple, right? That was the quote.
I thought Gino described it as exposed breasts. They could be going back and like lying about this. I mean,
I don't know. But a good line from Kayla's impact statement was, Todd Peterson told me to shut my eyes because Aaron can't shut his mouth.
Yeah, I knew that was in there. I think I leaked that line out a while ago. That's a great line.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That's
That's
a mic drop line. What was the when you go into the court, was Aaron already in there? Give us the mood, kind of like.
Yeah. So I went into the hall and I immediately saw Schizo Sean, and I saw Paul Shea, and about 5 other people. There's a woman, a couple women, and another guy who looked like a more handsome Trucker Andy. I thought it was Trucker Andy. Not that Trucker Andy is not handsome, but it looked like Trucker Andy, but it wasn't Trucker Andy. But I'm just like, okay, who here is from Kiwi Farms? Who here is from this? Matt's mother was there, and she's a big Tookie fan. We were just talking to her before.
Oh, Matt!
I called you.
Oh, yeah. So
Matt,
who is there to support
Matt.
Aaron? Was Matt there?
No one. Not a single person was there to support Aaron. No one, which is insane to me.
So hold on, Matt's
if your parents
mother
weren't
came,
dead,
but not
don't
Matt?
you think they would come?
Matt didn't come?
There's no Matt. No, Matt's mom came.
What the fuck?
She said that she has told Matt to find better friends. She yelled out because she saw I did a recorded video of Tookie outside the courthouse. There was no one to interview, really. And I don't want to interview Matt's mom. I don't want to fucking put her out there.
Did they bring up the violation first, that the live show and stuff? What'd they talk about?
Yeah. They brought up the live show stuff and how that was a violation because they kept saying it was broadcasted and it was live streamed and all this stuff. And you could see Aaron was getting like visibly like he was shaking his head, like, because he was right. I mean, they weren't live streamed.
Yeah, of course, but you can't
explain
any of this to a judge who has no idea what this world entails. Like,
right. Well, the funny fucking thing is, like, sitting right behind Aaron is the guy who recorded the whole live thing.
Yes.
And that never came up, which was funny. SchizoSean right behind Aaron as they're arguing whether this should be used or not. Because, yeah, because that's the thing. Aaron's lawyer was trying to, he was like, listen, Judge, anyone can make an accusation. We need to have, but where is the proof? Like, how do we know, this was a violation of, the conditions of release or whatever? And she's like, are you telling me you want to have another hearing about this evidence? Because this is sentencing. And he's like, no, I'm just saying, like, they could bring anything and say, oh, this was a violation. And she's like, but we have structures in place. People review this before it comes to us. Like, I've never heard of this. Like, you wanting. She's like, I'm trying to be clear. Like, do you want another hearing on this? And he's like, nah. He's like, nah. It don't seem like he was trying something. Like, I don't know what he was trying to do, but yeah, because of that live recording, they were looking to. I don't know what he was looking to do, but he just wanted to take it into the judge's consideration, I guess. Like, you don't really. Like, Aaron didn't broadcast this. This wasn't Aaron's radio show, which,
right.
That was, like, basically a stipulation. Like, live shows wasn't necessarily in the stipulation, I guess. But, again, someone already reviewed this evidence, and they said, no, yeah, it is. So,
what what was the prosecution looking for? Did they ask for more?
The prosecution wasn't, no, they weren't asking. Oh, well, yeah, prosecution was looking for 45 days. They brought up the victim services assessment fee, which could be anywhere from $750 to $1,000. They recommended $1,000. They got that. But it's crazy because when they first sentence Aaron, they say, we sentence you to 364 days with 2 days credit. Then,
Suspended.
I guess because of the probation or whatever, all the things, all of a sudden it's, he has to serve 15 days. And I'm not a smart man, and I don't know how that works, but apparently,
So he's got to go in for 15 days. When does that start?
15 days. So the prosecution wanted it immediately. And the judge was like, listen, like, I've never had someone immediately go to jail for a gross misdemeanor. Because Aaron, that was Aaron's judge. He was fighting that and saying, hey, give us 2 weeks. Aaron's own lawyer was recommending that Aaron just do the 15 days, get it over with. But he said, because of my client's work, we want to try and do, like a weekend thing, which I thought they didn't do here. I don't know, but I guess they do.
So he's going to attempt to do weekends.
He's going to attempt to do weekends. It sounds like, did they say they were going to meet on October 7th to discuss that or something?
Yeah, they were going to, he had to submit himself.
He has to submit himself by October 17th, but by 3 p.m. But then they...
he wants to, like, submit a schedule.
Right, but he wanted to submit a schedule of, like, doing, like, weekends and stuff. And I think they said that they would talk about that, like, on the 7th or something. But, yeah, like, Aaron's statement was basically about how, like, Jesus is saving him, and he's also a victim through all this.
Kayla said another win for the toe.
Kayla did say another win for the toe. Hold on, I wrote that down too. You're right. Hold on. Aaron's hair doesn't look bad from the back. I will say that. Aaron was immediately seated when we walked in, and he never looked behind him. He never looked at Kayla when he was making his statement, which she's sitting kind of behind him and to the right. So I don't know, if that's something people normally do, but I feel like if you're apologizing to someone, you should at least, like, kind of look at them. But yeah, what is it? What did she say? Oh, Aaron calls the $50 fine another win for the toe.
So he's gonna have to pay $1,000 fine?
Well, he has to pay $1,000 victim assessment thing. He's gonna. I don't know if that goes directly to Kayla or what.
And he's got to go to, like, alcohol abuse analysis or something. What'd you say?
I guess, a complete diagnostic assessment and complete a cognitive skills program. No contact with Kayla for 2 years. And then they also said something about taking DNA samples when he gets booked, I guess.
Did the judge say anything about the HROs?
Not really, because Aaron's lawyer was trying to use the HROs a bunch of times, and the state would object. And Aaron's lawyer basically said he has a right to kind of explain himself or something, and then they let him bring up the HRO because Aaron had to bring up the HRO because my notes are horrible. So it was important to bring up the HRO in their eyes because Aaron had to get the HRO on Nick because Nick shared intimate photos of him at a live event. So he knows how Kayla feels. That's what he's saying. Like, I didn't know this was wrong until it was done to me.
Yeah, what?
Am I crying? Is this crying? I don't know.
So he didn't know.
The crying part was hard.
Yeah, that's... Oh my God! Well, what a lot! What a lot to take in. Have you called into WATP yet? You gotta call WATP.
What's that? No, I called you first.
Yes, we win.
Come on, come on. Carl was on the train late with this one. I mean, you know.
Is there
the whole Aaron thing?
Anything else? Any other notes you have? Anything else you can think of that's a big reveal? And if anybody has any questions, get them in quick for Rocco.
No, there were way less people than I thought. The parking meter system here sucks a dick. It's horrible. And yeah, Minnesota in general is just a shithole.
So
I'm trying to think what
was did the judge like admonish him? Did she like lace into him in any way about this?
She said that no, not really, honestly. She said that her final decision was not made based on the new Geno stuff, but it was just based on just the numerous violations and all that kind of stuff. But again, in the end, I mean, what did you get? A little over 2 weeks.
Please tell me that Aaron's lawyer said something about my client's a homeowner, a graduate of Brown.
No, he didn't. I mean, Aaron brought up, the fact that, actually Aaron's lawyer did bring up the fact that Aaron is the sole income provider in his household. But he failed to
also the sole member of his household. Yes.
He's the only one who lives there. That was a fun. I did have that quote.
Income provider for Aaron. Aaron can't live if Aaron goes to jail.
Right. And then he also credited him with being a loving father who pays child support, not a number, and that he pays for insurance. So
he pays for insurance?
They said he pays child support and health insurance. For his kids.
What a man.
He does the bare minimum.
Prince
Part-time daddy
wants to know, Rocco, how did 364 days turn into 15 again? I think that's like suspended, right?
Yeah, it's like 64 days suspended, because I even heard someone else gasp. Like there was a woman or something that gasped as you heard the 364, but then quickly it's like, okay, he gets credit for 2 days, and then something else was said, and then it was like, okay, he has to serve 15 days.
What do you think it's worse for him to go on the weekends only?
No, I would take the whole fucking 2 weeks off and fucking reassess my life.
I don't think he can afford to do that.
Show.
He can't afford to do that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's obvious, but he's gonna have to. Maybe I'd apply for a couple credit cards before I go to jail.
So did she say anything about whether she's gonna allow him to do weekends or no?
Again, I believe they said that they're gonna have some kind of meeting or hearing on the 7th to discuss his scheduling. But as of now, he has to report by October 17th by 3 p.m. He can also turn himself in sooner.
What day of the week is that? Let's see.
I'm autistic, so it's Wednesday.
It's
Friday. Friday.
Okay.
Is it Friday?
It's Rumble Kink Friday in the jail. Pufferfish wants to know how he gets to do weekends and continue the show where he continuously violated terms and committed the original crime. Yeah, was there any discussion about him having to not do his show for a while? That was one of the punishments that was speculated on. Like,
I had this on speaker the whole time. Hold on real quick. As far as doing a show, did they mention anything about like him continue doing a show? I don't think they didn't really know. They didn't mention anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like. Yeah, obviously it was like he can't talk about it. He can't email. It's all the same shit.
But
he added live. They did add live shows to the stipulation.
But he threw Gino under the bus and said, "I'll never." Did he say?
Totally.
He said, "If you give me mercy, or I will, no matter what, I will never work with Gino again."
I heard him say, "If the court shows me mercy, I will never work with Gino Bisconte again."
But
and I
if you don't show
me,
if you don't show me mercy, I will work with him again. Like, what the fuck?
Right. Which is why I thought it was an odd statement to make, and that's how I heard it. I'm, hopefully, I know there are other people who took notes, and hopefully, we can kind of collaborate on what everything means and what was said exactly, because everything moves so fast, and it was like playing bingo all over again. I was missing things as I'm writing.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get a few more people call in. And when you go over to WATP, tell Schizo Sean to call in.
Okay. All right.
Because everybody will have different points of view and remember different tidbits.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
You call it. Yeah, okay. All right, let me go. I'll have him call.
All right, thank you for the report.
Yeah!
Rocco on the ground in Minnesota. So far, what we know, Aaron contrite in front of the judge, reading out a statement where he professes his newfound love for Christ his Lord, saying he's been redeemed, and pleading for mercy from the court. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Is this Sean?
It is. This is SchizoSeanTV.
Now, it should be said that I did not send you to this event. I didn't even know if you were going to this event, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Just like the anniversary show, I did this just for the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
So much.
So was this the same courtroom that we were in before?
Yeah, I believe it was exactly the same. I mean, it was the same judge and everything, so I'm pretty sure. I'm like 95% sure.
Yeah, give us your take. Walk us through the everything you can remember from the beginning till it happened.
Well, I mean, he got there. I got there pretty early just to scope the place out and everything, and then I was kind of just sitting there waiting, and then Aaron pulls up, and I followed him into the building, and I recorded something about that. Yeah, you guys might get to see a little bit later, so there might be some footage coming out on my Twitter. There's a still from it of Aaron walking just very dejectedly into the courthouse. But so after that, everyone else kind of showed up, like the hat guy who got kicked out of Stoney's, Tookie. We were all waiting on the second level of the courthouse. Mercado showed up with his lady. And then we go in, and, I decided to sit right behind Aaron because it's just hilarious. And it was totally hilarious. Like I'm like Voldemort. I'm the man who can't be named. I'm an agent of Patrick Melton, but you can't even be named. I'm just an agent of an unnamed diabolical mastermind,
Do you anticipate any sort of retaliation for this? Like, this is the second time you've gone there. He's made an argument that you're a stalker and you're a schizophrenic, paranoid guy. Do you think you're going to get any sort of HRO out of this?
I mean, I don't want to say I hope so, but it's certainly a nice exclusive club to be in. I'm with a lot of winners in that club, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. He likes handing out those things like candy, and yeah, he does think I'm harassing him, just like Vito. So, I wouldn't be too surprised if not too long from now I do get an HRO.
So I just got a text from Paul Shea, who I imagine was there,
Yes,
and it says, quote, He's fully redeemed by the Lord, and he asked, may Jesus have mercy on his soul. This is a totally different guy than on his show, where he acts like he's in control of everything and he's winning all the time. This sounds like this speech was definitely not a I'm winning, another win for the toe kind of vibe.
No, he was very, at least he appeared to be very sorrowful for what he'd done. But no, I mean, he he's a changed man. Jesus Christ has saved him through the power of grace. Yeah, I mean, I almost died laughing when he started talking about that. But he also mentioned how he loved his kids and his family, and he did not mention Jesus Christ when he was listing other things he loved during the trial. So I thought that was interesting.
Did he do any kind of white power hour stuff where he said, like, I believe that this country needs to return to Jesus and white values? And did he have his little light?
No, I don't think the judge would have allowed that, but I'm sure him and Gino would love to do that sort of thing.
Jesus Christ. Now, can you give us a little more detail on this? What is this, like, class he has to go to evaluate his drinking, or like the DNA test? Can you explain that better?
Yeah, so the DNA test, I'm not positive what that's for. I think it's just to get his DNA in the criminal database, but I don't honestly know. But the other stuff is just like, when you go too fast and they make you take a class about how you should slow down. It's shit like that for not sending naked pictures of your friend's wife, But
they mentioned that his alcohol abuse might have contributed to all this.
Yeah, they really laid into him for that, and they gave him he has to refrain from substances during the probationary period because they said, like, the prosecutor said he's like visibly drunk in some of the clips they've watched of him talking about Lady Rackets or whoever else.
My attorney is apparently watching and has messaged me very seriously saying, because I guess he heard you joking about saying you're an agent of Patrick Melton. Can you make it clear that I've never sent you or told you to go anywhere? I've never conspired with you to go anywhere. I've never paid you to go anywhere, and you are not an agent of Patrick Melton. My lawyer wants you to do that.
Yes, I will make that absolutely unambiguously clear. You did not send me in any way. You did not incentivize me in any way. You did not know I was doing this. I did this 100% of my own volition.
Yeah, okay. I guess my lawyer's watching this. I'm not paying for this. Don't charge me for this.
Yeah, I'm just doing it because it's funny to fuck with the toe,
I mean, and people have a right to go there. Like, see, you're making statements that could end you up on the same end of an HRO that I'm on. But I went to cover again. This is a guy who lies to us about what occurs, and I'm allowed to go report on this stuff, and that's the way I think it should be looked at, and Aaron wants to make it like it's some violation of his civil liberties, but he lies about everything that occurs in these rooms. He's a different guy in this room.
Yeah, well, he said in his statement of like how his victim statement and how all this has impacted his life, he said, people like make fun of me online. Like that was one of the things he was really upset about. And it's like, I consider it citizen journalism. Like, you are just exercising your constitutional right. And I'm allowed to go to the content hotel, even if Gino doesn't want me there. It's a public event. You buy tickets for it. This is a courtroom case. His anniversary show is public. So yeah, it's not like we're not going to their houses or anything, that would be insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. Any other memorable quotes from either the prosecutor, his attorney, the judge? How long did this take? Like, what did they go through? Like, this seemed like it lasted about an hour.
Yeah, an hour sounds about right. Honestly, a lot of it was taken up by the judge just being totally dumbfounded by the toe's lawyer and his argument, because he was basically attacking the integrity of the court. And Tookie went into this a little bit, but he was basically like calling into question the entire like Minnesota legal system. And I just thought, I was like, that's an insane. And the judge was literally like, yeah, I've never heard of anything like this in my like 22 years of being a judge. Like it was quite surreal to watch.
Now I think he's got a hearing, if I'm not mistaken, he's got a hearing on the 24th with Nick for his HRO. That means he's going to have to come out of jail to go to this HRO if he goes in on the 17th. Or I guess if he only gets weekends. Did it sound like he's only going to be in there on weekends, or?
Well, that was sort of the only thing that wasn't like really clear, because there was a lot of like back and forth between the defense and the prosecution and the judge about the exact schedule, if they would agree to that. So that'll all get worked out in the coming week or so, I'd imagine.
His lawyer really said he's the sole earner in his household.
Said he was what?
He's the sole earner of his household when he's the only member of his household.
This is the greatest show, Nickel.
Another dick in the ass for the toe. It makes my lil bent button hard.
Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
yes, that was all really said. I didn't, and I heard that when Tookie was talking to you. I couldn't believe that. That's like an insanely scummy thing, even for a lawyer to try.
Right. Yeah. All right. Fuck. All right. Any other memories? Any other thoughts? And where can people find you're going to have video or audio or something you're putting up?
Yeah, if you check my Twitter, you can see a frame from the video I took walking behind Aaron as he walked into the courtroom, which I will be releasing later. But yeah, I'm SchizoSeanTV on YouTube, SchizoSeanTV on Twitter, everywhere else. And just to reiterate, I did this totally of my own free will. You had nothing to do with me doing this or the anniversary show, just to reiterate and make your lawyer happy.
Yes, of course. I'm not insane. I'm not trying to go to jail. That's your job.
Yes, exactly.
All right, thanks, Schizo. If you think of anything else, feel free to call in, or if you hear us say something that needs to be addressed, call back in.
All right.
Thank
Have
you.
fun.
Appreciate it. Wow. If you have thoughts, you're free to call in 702-749-4NLO. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Melton? It's Paul.
Hey, Paul. Yeah, what was your experience?
Well, so I did a little bit of digging because I was listening to you and Moody talk a little bit, and you were kind of wondering about the, supervision programs, the cognitive programs and things of that. So basically, he's going to have a court-ordered diagnostic assessment based on his mental health. So they're going to dive in and have a clinical and functional diagnosis for him. That's going to be part of the sentencing. And then the other big piece that you were asking about was the cognitive approach. In Stearns County, what they do here as their supervised program
It's
is he's
lobotomy.
got to work with his he's got to work with his probation agent, and they're going to be monitoring his different activities and helping them to structure their time to promote positive thinking and positive engagement. So it's almost like a lobotomy, but they're going to be making sure that he's focusing on more positive things in his life.
My thoughts are that Aaron goes into all these programs, goes into court, goes into every situation, relationships, friendships, what have you, thinking to himself, I'll just manipulate these people. It never even occurs to him to be genuine or attempt to make a genuine effort at anything. I think he really thinks, I'm smarter than everybody, and I can go into this situation and make them think whatever I want. I'll make them think I'm doing better. I'll make them think I'm positive. I'll make them think I've changed. I'll make the judge think I'm sorry. Like, I really believe that. He's, like, fucked up.
Yeah, it was interesting when he was able to read a statement, just the direction it went. It was the somewhat epiphany take that you had earlier where, found religion and born again and all of that. I found that to be pretty interesting. He sought forgiveness from someone that he loved as they loved one another. He was disgusted by the actions of Gino Bisconte and will no longer work with him publicly or privately. And he said that he is not who he was. He was not the partner that they once were. And he made a solemn vow to the judge never to be seen again by her. So it was interesting statements made.
I'm wondering I'm assuming this letter that he wrote, this epiphany letter, is the one that he was going to read in June. And I'm wondering...
I think so.
I'm wondering if it included that statement about never working with Gino back in June, or he added that since the anniversary show.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not quite sure if that was added in because the part about Visconti did come towards the end of the letter that he read in court. but again, rediscovered his faith, became redeemed, born again Christian, loves his family, seeking forgiveness. I think the toughest part for me, Patrick, was listening to the victim in the case go through all the things that they've had to go through. And when that was being read, the courtroom was absolutely silent, and you looked over to where Aaron was sitting, and he wasn't moving a muscle. It was, you could just from behind him, but he wasn't moving at all. Was kind of taking everything that was said in, but powerful statement from the victim in this case as well. And 15 days is 15 days is what was given. He's got 2 already credited for, so probably 8 days he actually has to serve out of that. I know you're talking about weekends. If the prosecutor, Darlene, has her way, it'll be served consecutively, and it would probably benefit him more to just serve it consecutively than having to check in and out every weekend.
How do you arrive at 8 days, 15 minus 2? Good behavior?
Okay, so this is how I got to eight days. 15 days, you only have to serve 2/3 of that, so that would be 10 days. He's already got 2 days credit for the 2 days he spent in jail, so 8 days remaining is what I believe he will actually spend.
Unless he gets in an altercation or starts a gang or...
Correct.
Oh, man. I'm just... Here's what's funny to me. I grew up in churches and religion, heavily religious household. And when you say I'm born again, I'm a born again Christian. I'm redeemed. I've found Jesus. I have my faith. All this kind of stuff. I feel like because he wrote that in June and we've got to see him for 4 months after that, we know that's not true. I feel like those are the statements he was going to make in June. And we've seen his behavior since then, yelling on stage that he was going to cheat on his girlfriend. He clearly has a problem with alcohol. He went and filed 2 HROs after that hearing. He allowed the victim to be disparaged at a show. He's started a segment of his program called the White Power Hour that is very racist. His ability to stick to any sort of narrative about him changing, or we saw this again with his therapy and stuff last year. I feel like he would have read those same statements in June that I've found Christ, I'm born again, all this kind of stuff. And then we see his behavior for 4 months after that. Also, is there a pastor? Is there a church community anywhere that would come? Again, if you're born again, if you go to church and you're a real Christian, I imagine you would get your pastor to show up and vouch for you and be a testament to the changes you've made in your life and kind of reveal some of the personal things that you're going through and how you've overcome those obstacles in your life. No one was there for him to back this up.
That's correct. And no letters from his defense were read, right? There was no letter read from his mother towards the court. There was no one to stand and give an impact statement on his behalf at all. It was just the victim reading a statement, the prosecution then going through what they wanted to see, which included, I don't know if Rocco covered this or not, but a $1,000, let's see here, victim service fee. So $1,000 being added onto it, a $50 fine, which was part of the original plea agreement. Looking for 45 days in jail is what the prosecution was seeking in this case.
Who does this $1,000 victim fee go to? Kayla or?
I believe it goes towards the county. I would have to look, Patrick, at the law. They are talking about a law that was new to the books this year. The minimum was $750. The maximum that can be charged in this is $1,000. I believe the county is going to get that, but I I don't want to speak out of turn. I didn't have time to look that up yet.
All right. Anything else that was memorable that you can think about? Like I remember last time we were there, the judge was very like upset at him. Did she? I mean, was there like a lengthy lecture from the judge? Was there a disgust expressed by her, or was she kind of all business?
No, the judge in this case was rather all business. There was an objection for Aaron's statement because he brought up the HRO against Nick. The prosecution immediately objected during that statement. A little bit of conversation. The judge then went on and made a statement about giving leeway to both the prosecution and the defense and allowing them to have their say in court. So at least they felt like leaving the courtroom that they were able to speak their case. Other than that moment, Patrick, she was very level-headed, business as usual. The bailiff that was in the room from the sentencing that we were at in June, he was stationed outside the door and was just approaching people one by one, making sure there was no electronic devices. On top of that bailiff that was in the room, there was 2 other sheriff department's deputies and the undercover deputy in the room as well, monitoring the audience. So they were, really trying to make sure that nothing was being captured by electronic monitoring or recording devices. Interesting to be there. Not as many people as you've been told. But yeah, an interesting vibe going into and out of the courtroom.
Did people have to take their cell phones out like last time, or was that just told no recording?
So you were reminded even before you went in by the bailiff, hey, no cell phones, nothing like that. The man with the hat, I believe that is what you're calling him. I think he was sent out to his vehicle as I was walking into the addition of the courtroom there, as he was heading out to his vehicle. And when he came back up, the bailiff said, got nothing else on you? You ready to go in? So they were making sure there were no cell phones on individuals. The person sitting next to both the victim and Nick in this case, she had a laptop, but I don't know if this was a victim advocate, but that was the only electronic device other than what the judge and people sitting next to the judge had.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Well, it sounds like an adventurous day. Hopefully Tookie's going to run around town and get some donuts as big as your head or something like that.
Pasta buckets. Don't forget, you got to remind them about pasta buckets. But yeah, other than that, great program as usual. Big Sauce. Appreciate you taking my call.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul. Paul Shea, Town Square Media, St. Cloud's #1 morning show. The person Toe wishes he could be.
I have to serve 15 days of 364 days, but if I violate conditions in the next 2 years, I will immediately have to serve the remaining 349 days. Another win for the Toe.
Yes. We all know behavior is a problem for him. I just, again, I can't imagine going on and on about how you found Christ and you're redeemed and you're a born-again Christian and not having some sort of letter from a pastor at your church and again, someone to speak on your behalf. That's what these things really, like, you know what I mean? Like, that would go a long way to like backing up your bullshit instead of you just saying you've changed.